Hello, you are listening to the Rookie CEO podcast, season 2, baby. Hello, Ev, how are you?
I'm good, although I do have to address the elephant in the room, which is my eye. I'm currently struggling with hay fever, so I am very much looking like a scrap from my age, but it's fine if you just ignore it.
But we have made up for it with you guys because we have Tom Cakebread from Cake Shop Media joining us today. How are you, Tom?
Good to be here. Thank you very much.
And tell us more about Cake Shop. Cook Shop? It's not a cook,
Wow.
It's not a cook shop. I've messed up already. Let's start this again.
You've been in Amsterdam for the weekend.
What's funny, guys, is that's the second time we're doing this, and I got it right the first time.
I'm going to have everyone comes up to me now and go, "Oh, Tom from Cake Shop Media." I goes, "No, not that sort of shop."
No, so tell us more about your Cake Shop Media.
Yeah, not a problem at all. So Cake Shop Media, we're a digital marketing agency based in Dover. So proper southeast Kent, southeast England, wherever the southeast you can get before you go to mainland Europe. And we've been in business just over 5 years. Yeah, I don't know what do we do? So social media, we build websites, we do Google ads, we do everything, but actually about 80% of the business is social media. TikTok Reels, YouTube Shorts is probably something we're best known for. And effectively, yeah, we just help business owners get seen online. So
Nice.
yeah, very similar to what Hev does.
And in this episode, guys, we're going to be talking about TikTok. That's a talk of the town in a minute. TikTok, whether businesses should be on it, whether they shouldn't be on it. Is it impacting their business? Now, what's your experience like with your TikTok? Have you got TikTok?
Got TikTok. Have to have TikTok. Have to 100% have TikTok. I've got 2 accounts. So one personal, where I have a wrestling channel, which is why I'm wearing the wrestling t-shirt today. And I have the bit of a promo, yeah. So Tom Talks Wrestling, if you want to give us a follow. And the Cake Shop Media business page. But I think if you're going to promote it and push clients to be on it, I think you've got to have it. Not just for a way to promote yourself, but actually for a good battlefield and a good playground, really, to see what works, what doesn't work, test it, and then work it with your clients.
And how many leads do you say you get through TikTok?
I get a couple. I wouldn't call it one of my main lead engines, but for me with TikTok, it's all about raising that awareness. If you're not on there, there's 30 million active users in the UK on TikTok, and I appreciate that the service that I offer can be used nationwide if it wants to be, but there's some businesses that local works best. But for me, it can be a good lead magnet. Not always, being very, very honest.
How do you localize TikTok then?
I think, do you know, I watched one of your podcasts with Dan Francis a couple of weeks back, and it was all about how you mentioned inputting keywords into the captions without not making it sound genuine. And in terms of localizing it, I think you do have to include where you're looking to target, the town you're living in or the town you're working in. And it can sound really generic at times, like, oh, if you're in Dover, Kent, and you're looking for a social media manager, then hello, my name's Tom. And actually, I see a lot of paid ads start with that particular line because they're going straight from the off. That's my keyword. That's what I'm looking to target. Exactly the same with organic. If we can input the town in the caption, great. In the copy, fantastic. But one we're actually really starting to see a lot of good work from is when you actually geotag the location. Heather, I'm not sure, you're probably aware of this. There's a really, really good location feature that if you actually tag the location, it will boost it a bit, about 5-10% to more people because you've tagged a location in. And it's a really, really good tool to target if you are a location business.
Yeah, I've started doing that. Well, my partner started doing it on his personal page because we were like, we go to day trips to all these places, but we never actually vlog it or anything. So we've started doing that. And I've noticed now on TikTok, because to be honest, a lot of my clients are not on TikTok. They're more LinkedIn and Instagram. But when you go on TikTok now, if you tag a location, it actually will pull all the videos that I've been tagged in that location. So it's almost like its own little
Profile,
yeah.
Nice.
So that went really well. And that was just a personal page. I mean, I know it's harder on a business page, but it's incredible what really just tagging a location can do.
Yeah, I think that's where people rush when they post, don't they? They don't think about keywords and think about all the functionality that TikTok has to offer.
Yeah, and I think there's 2 ways people approach TikTok. It's if you're not really business client based, you'll do your video and then you'll add like the most simplest of caption just to add a bit of context to it. But actually, if we're doing it for clients, then I think you have to really think about it a bit more and go, right, we're targeting this area. We do need to really include this area. And it could be very simple as, come and visit us in store. I like using the pin emoji, and then you just add the address, and there you go. You've put the keywords in. But in terms of a visual identification, when you see the number of views on a business profile, it has a little fire icon next to it and say plus 86, for example. What that fire icon means is if you tag the location, it said we actually shown it to 86 more people because you've tagged the area. And for me, that works really, really well. You click that arrow, you click that fire, and it takes you to its very own landing page, which says we've boosted your page because you've tagged the location. Here's the stats on it. And I think it's a really, really good tool when it comes to TikTok.
Nice. And what's your thoughts on like actual content? Because a lot of people think that the power is within the caption because that's where the keywords lay.
Yeah.
But is there an algorithm in the background with TikTok? Does it know what the content is? Is it pushing it? Like if you had a big graphic behind you that said Kent, for instance, in the actual content, would the algorithm be aware of that and push it?
Yeah, I think for me, in my experience, it's a couple of things. You mentioned the captions there. If they're in the captions, that's great. That's a really good trigger. The copy's another one. I think if you have on-screen image behind you saying, like you guys, the rookie CEO, would it pick it up? I'll be honest, I'm not too sure. I think it's, as you've mentioned, they're the key triggers. I did a test recently. I went to a festival last weekend, and I'm an elder emo. I grew up on, Take Back Sunday, Blink-182, stuff like that. And actually, I started posting videos, including the term Slam Dunk Festival, elder emo, in the hashtags, in the copy, in the captions. And my content got seen about 60,000 times across that whole weekend, just from 4 or 5 videos. So I think in answer to your question, not too sure, but I think the key triggers there. Copy, caption, and just talking about it as well. If you can relate with people on TikTok and they pick it up straight away, you know exactly who you're going to target, who's going to see your content. They'll like you, they'll follow you, they'll engage.
Because I think TikTok is known for, and I think it still is, for dances. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I don't think so anymore because I think everyone uses it as a search engine. Like if I'm going out for dinner at the weekend, or if I want to find something to do, I'm straight on TikTok, things to do in Kent this weekend. And there's actually a lady that her whole thing is things to do in Kent this weekend. She just will list off everything that's going on. So it saves me even going on ChatGPT and looking, which is probably just as quick, but I prefer her telling me over the video.
Yeah, I've seen that lady. Yeah, she's really, really good. But I will agree with you on that point that when businesses get in touch and talk to us about inquiring about social media, and I say, "What have you considered TikTok?" It's probably the biggest growing platform. It's what people are using for now. You mentioned search engine, exactly the same. And I think some generations will go, "Well, I hope I don't have to do a dance." I'm like, no, you don't have to do a dance. I think that was where TikTok blew up because of the pandemic.
Hey Hev, have you heard of IT Managed Services? They're an IT support service based in Kent.
Yeah, I've been with them for over a year now. I love being able to just call them at any point and they take over my computer and fix the issue so much quicker than spending hours on Google.
Why have you kept that to yourself all this time? Right, I need to sign up to these guys. What's their website?
It's it-ms.co.uk or you can call 01634 218 362.
A really funny story. I only actually got into TikTok during the pandemic because my son, who was 7 at the time, created an account without me knowing. And he just uploaded videos of him opening FIFA packs. And within 2 months, he gained 15,000 followers, all from opening FIFA packs. So I thought, actually, I probably should be on here just to keep an eye on him. So signed up. Did a couple of those silly weekend dances, And since then, I thought, actually, there is the opportunity for business here. More people are using it. And since then, it's become a platform of its own. So there is definitely... there's definitely a space there for businesses. It doesn't matter if you're talking about educational content, if you want to go more behind the scenes, there is definitely a place for businesses to be using TikTok.
Is there any businesses that you wouldn't recommend going on there?
Like industries, you mean?
Yeah.
Don't call businesses out.
Yeah, don't call, but this particular business. So off the top of my head, no, I think everyone needs to give it a go. There's some marketers that regularly go, marketing isn't a one-size-fits-all campaign. But I think actually when it comes to something like TikTok, if you're creating content which shows the personality of the business and the people, I think that's always a number one. That always works. If you can show faces. We've worked with businesses, I imagine you have as well, Heather, where they've gone, we want to help with social media, but we don't feel comfortable being on camera. And for me, I'm like, well, I don't professionally think you're going to do as well if you don't show your face on social media.
Of course.
Because I would like to do business with somebody who I've probably got to know whilst doing my research. If it's predominantly product-based, service-based, and there's no behind-the-scenes photos of the people I'm going to be working with or talking to, I'll probably slightly, do I really want to work with those, or do I want to help those people? I just think, you've got to really put your face on there a bit. Be a bit.
This is it. We get that a lot actually, because my face is everywhere.
Yeah.
And I get that a lot where people go, if you're willing to put your face to your service, then you obviously are confident in what you're
100%.
providing. So that's the question, I guess, to these businesses who are not confident enough to put their face, even if it's just a picture.
Yeah.
Then I think there's a lot of questions to be answered, I would say, potentially. And then the UI, because it does give out that persona of, well, hang on a minute, should I trust you if you're not confident enough to just put your face photo to your service or to your product?
Yeah.
It's a weird one, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think people think big, don't they? People think, I'm going to take over the world one day. I don't want it to be all about me. But at the same time, like, everyone knows who Jeff Bezos is.
Yep.
And he's got the biggest business in the world.
Yeah, I will preface this though for saying I think a lot of businesses go, I'll go on TikTok, I'll go on Instagram, but you have to give the time to it, and if you haven't got the time to give to it, then it's a platform that needs a lot of attention.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's very give and take. You're not going to get results from posting probably once a week. I don't know if you agree, you have to actually give your time to it. And I think that's what people struggle with, because they're bringing people on board to help with their social media because they haven't got time. But it's like, no, just because you brought an agency on board doesn't mean that we can become you.
Yes.
You have to give your time to it, whether that's a bulk or do it frequently. Because I've had people that have tried to go on there and then it just kind of fades off because they can't give their time to it. And I'm like, it really was starting to build momentum then.
Yeah.
And then we've just
Stops.
dropped straight off.
Yeah, and it's almost like that they're expecting a sort of a point for it to go boom. But I don't think it works like that. I think if you're doing a couple of thousand views on TikTok, or even up to 1,000, anything over the dreaded 300 mark, I think that video is doing well. We've been very fortunate that we've had a 1 million view video every single year in business, which is great. But we don't strive to do that because going viral is amazing, like from a ego perspective. But actually, from a business perspective, does it get you much? Not necessarily. So yeah.
When it comes to TikTok, would you agree with that saying of there's no such thing as bad PR? Or do you think TikTok can potentially impact businesses if you're not following the right strategy?
I think it depends on the content you put out and how you come across on social media. Negative comments can actually be a positive. If someone comments something negative on your video, another user might come along and actually argue that point. And then effectively it's just manifesting, it's growing itself. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to touch it. You've created a conversation piece. It's going to grow. It's fantastic.
You found that with an external cleaning company.
Yeah, they had some negative comments. And we just responded back to them with the facts, and it just, blew the video up.
Yep.
So we were like... Because the thing is, if you're confident in what you're putting out, it doesn't matter if you get any bad feedback because you thought it through. And that's why you have to think things through. Because if you rush a video, you might have missed something, or the dreaded people put stuff out and in the background there was something like that shouldn't have been in the background, and everyone picks it up, and it's like if you'd have just taken the time before pressing post, you would have spotted it.
Yeah. But at the same time, something like that blows up.
100%. If someone comments and goes, if for instance if we haven't mentioned obviously your hay fever today, and you just put it in, and immediately people can go, well, what's wrong with Heather's eyes? Is she all right? And actually you've got people talking.
Yeah.
And I think that some of the best people from a growth perspective, they will leave a little error in there to go, well, you didn't mean that. And
I've done that a few times.
people have commented on it.
Purposely.
We did a video for a renewable energy client, and it was an EV charger. But we all know EV chargers, you ideally need to have a drive to plug it in, etc. This one didn't. It was a terraced house. It was very similar to the microphones we got here. It went up, it went over the pavement, it dropped down, it plugged it in. So naturally, all of the diesel and petrol car drivers come on and slag it off. We let them get on with it. And then the people that love EV chargers, they come on and protect it. And then you'd have people going, all that copper there, that'll be gone by the morn. People steal it. And that video garnered 1.3 million views just from these people against these people.
Yeah.
They had an argument. We let them get on with it. We then decided to lean on that a bit because the client were very, very good in going, look, you can manage it how you want to, just don't portray us negatively. So we was quite sarcastic in our response. And there's one of the really things I love about using CapCut is they have templates of famous people saying something, and then you can add your own context to it. So it was Ant and Dec going, something like, I'll punch your face in or something like this. And it was like the context was, when you say to diesel and petrol drivers that EV chargers are the next big thing. And then they respond, oh, no, it's not. I'm going to punch your head in if you say that again. And that video gained like 20,000 views.
Yeah.
So you're jumping on this thing of actually being a bit sarcastic, trying to get a bit of a reaction whilst the brand is growing further. And actually, off the back of that, they were the only ones in the UK doing the product. And they got a few bookings from it.
Yeah.
So it's a positive.
That's a great subject because it leans on the controversial side, but avoids the political side.
Yes. Yeah.
Whereas a lot of people love a controversial post, I find, because they jump on it. But I think they've crossed the line a lot of the time.
Yeah.
It's like you can almost tell that they're doing it for engagement.
Yep.
I don't know. I think because we're all marketers in this room, we see it from a mile off.
My always thing is, if your biggest client saw what you've posted, would you feel embarrassed? And if you'd feel embarrassed, then don't post it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because that's ultimately, if you post something that upsets a client that's already with you, then you've lost yourself money. Was it worth this smaller client that you're going to gain from this outrageous video you did? Yeah, it's always kind of like my golden rule of thumb. Like, I have a private school that I work with, and I know for a fact we couldn't go on TikTok necessarily or do certain behind the scenes because there's so much we have to safeguard and protect, and it would just be too risky. So if we started posting behind the scenes stuff and there was maybe a child that wasn't allowed to be on camera and stuff, it's just not worth it. So we stay 100%. Away from it. So I think you do have to kind of safeguard your existing clients. So if you're happy with them seeing it, then go ahead. But as long as you're not doing anything that's going to offend anyone existing, I don't see the harm in being a bit cheeky.
Yeah. I agree with you. It's trying to balance that and authenticity, isn't it, sometimes? Because, I have to admit, I love a good TikTok. I never do TikTok to generate leads. I just do TikTok in my lunch break because it just stops me from working for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
DocuSign, MailChimp, Hootsuite, website, WhatsApp, another password reset. Running a business shouldn't feel like speed dating with apps that barely speak to each other. Fuzzy Logic has it all in one place. Emails, social scheduling, work management, website hosting, automations, digital signatures and more. From just £99 plus VAT per month. Less awkward handshake, more warm embrace. Visit fuzzylogic.systems.
I think it depends on, as you mentioned there, if there's certain lines that can't be crossed.
Yeah,
that's fine. I think the great thing with TikTok is such a conversational piece. Even just talking to a camera and talking about something that happened to you on the way to work that you just had to share with someone. Actually, a lot of people could probably relate to it. And actually, relatable content, as we all know, is probably one of the best ways to generate conversation. That grows your video. More people become aware of you. It's a win-win. And I think it has to be taken on a video by video basis. But I completely agree with the boundaries.
Yeah, for sure.
The last subject I want to raise, really, I think, is consistency. So you've provided the listeners with a lot of tips, which is amazing. But we've not really discussed how frequent should we be posting on TikTok if we want to see results.
Yeah. It's always a very ambiguous question. There's people who do our role, do our job, and they'll come in to create a video and go, you should be posting twice a week at 11 a.m. every single day, and that's it. And business owners with kind of no knowledge will go, I'll save that and I'll do that. And then they'll go, why is this not working? I've always worked on a common sense rule. When are you on your phone? When are you scrolling? Compared to when is the business open? So if the business opens at 9 a.m. actually, and I go, right, I'm going to post at 9 a.m. No one's online at 9 a.m. No one's online. We post on LinkedIn, on my personal LinkedIn, I'd say 7 a.m. in the morning, because we all get up before we do our bits. We'll have a quick look on LinkedIn, see who's said things. From a number of posts per week, we historically started the business posting 2 times per week. We say, look, post 2 times per week. It's quite simple, and if you do want to grow it, you can grow it from that aspect. We now start a minimum of 3, including 1 video per week. And the reason being is we feel that if you are posting a minimum of 3 times, actually the growth levels are exponential compared to if it wasn't. We've had people come to us and go, I only want to post once per week, nothing crazy. And we're like, well, there's no point. It's a waste of money. I know you want to be active, but you've got to be active as well as volume, if that makes sense. So we work to something called ARC, which is active, relevancy, and consistency. So the key thing there, if you're active, that's great. That's the first step. The relevancy, if you're posting about topics which people are talking about or an event, that's going to naturally grow. I suppose you could call it trending, but the consistency is the real thing. So in answer to your question originally, 3 times a week minimum, but also post when people are online. Evenings are probably best. TikTok, there's some lovely stats which say actually the majority of users are online from 6 o'clock onwards. So if you want your video to be seen on TikTok, always post in the evening, let it grow. The following day, it will probably die a bit, and then it'll go again.
Okay, so with TikTok, you can post 3 times a week.
100%.
Because everyone kind of feels like they should be posting at least once a day. Well, you've heard it here first, guys.
I saw one and it was like you need to be posting 3 times a day, and I was like,
It's too much.
Yeah.
who's got time for that?
Yeah.
I saw
Unless you're trying to be an influencer.
Yeah.
It's different.
There was Gary Vee said something along the lines of, I think you should be posting, I want to say 6 times a day on LinkedIn, because you have to consider that maybe 5% of your audience is going to see your first post. So 95% of your audience haven't seen that post. Then actually maybe 10% are going to see that post. And you've really got to reach all of your connections at different times of the day. So I think if you want to grow from an influencer perspective, post as many times a day as you can.
Yeah.
But it's just not viable. No one's got the time. We all work.
Sustainability is so important because you're more likely to just drop off if you're not doing it sustainably.
And I think that's the key thing, isn't it? It's, are you an influencer or are you a business? A business and a personal brand are very different.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay, if you're a person trying to grow your personal brand, maybe you can post more. But if you're a business, it doesn't make sense for a business to be posting that many times a day. Like, who's watching that?
Have you ever had it yourself where you'll create a post and then the client may post something like an hour later and actually it combats the growth?
Yeah.
So you'll go, right, we've put this video out at 6 p.m. in the evening, and then they'll go, right, you know, this is going on tonight. And I say, just to let you know, we're trying to really allow this to grow and give it a bit of breathing space, which is why we probably say 3 times a week minimum, because you get a bit of space in between each post.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it just tends to just stagnate one of them. It's just a waste.
It is.
I've also had it when I would do all these lovely posts and then someone would go on there effing and jeffing about something. And I'm like, oh my God, please delete that. So inappropriate.
Yeah.
On that note, thank you so much for listening, guys. Hope you've taken some away. Oh, we've got a question.
Have a question.
Oh, I apologise. I take that back.
It's a bit of a rogue question, nothing business related.
Okay.
If you could be a cleaning product, what cleaning product would you be?
I don't know. I don't do any cleaning.
They do any cleaning?
No.
Do you have a cleaner?
No.
Be careful with what you're saying.
No,
next.
this is what I'm going to say. Yeah, no. If I was to be a cleaning product,
Because I think I would be a Sephora because it's just like, it's good, like it's just amazing.
This is a question for a guest.
I will go with Sephora, and I'll tell you why.
What is that?
Sephora is a detergent that you can just mix with water and use as a spray, or you can put it in your mop.
Oh, never heard of
So
this.
when it come out, like I think a good few years ago now, my wife found it in Poundland, and she was like, "Oh, so Flora in Tesco's like £4 a bottle," and she went Poundland, do it for £1.50, and she went, "It's just brilliant. I used it to clean the floors, little drop in here and there," and she used to swear by it. So I'll go with Sephora probably because it's the only brand I know.
I think Poundland does need to rebrand at some point.
Yeah, because it's
nothing's a pound
is it?
Do you
anymore.
remember the 99p shop?
Yeah, it's to compete with each other.
Yeah.
There's a penny
Where
in
did
it.
that go?
So that's why we say nothing was ever 99p anymore, was it?
Sam, if you could be a cleaning product, what cleaning product would you be?
Wow, this is completely throwing me off.
Can we sell it bang? He'd make a comeback.
Still at Bang.
Yeah, bang in the dirt. It's gone.
Bang
What's his
on
name? Scott. Barry Scott.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm Barry
Is that a
Scott.
product or was that
I
more of
used
a
to use
brand?
it batten to clean my pennies when I was younger.
Yeah. Do you know what? A microfiber cloth.
What's the reason?
Because you can use it for anything, mate.
Yep.
Washing the car, cleaning the toilet. Obviously, the different.
I was gonna say same
one.
cloth. Same cloth.
One-stop shop for cleaning.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm all about, baby.
It's the roguest question I've ever heard in my
I know.
life.
Well, thank you so much. I'm really hoping we didn't lose you guys in the last minute there. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for listening to the Rookie CEO podcast. Thank you, Tom, for joining us.
Thank you.
And we'll see you again next week for another episode of The Rookie CEO. I was hoping to say it at the same time as you
Oh,
then.
sorry, no.
Would that be quite cheesy, wouldn't it? Right, thanks, guys.
Thank you. Bye.